Yo! What's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarouge.
And this is the happiest show on the Internet.
Yeah. Delightful.
Yep, it's the last of us.
A joy.
But it's the last of us to get a slice of cake. That's what this is about. It's just, just getting that cake. Or, in Ellie's case, getting Dina's cake. All up in her mouth.
Yeah. Good for them.
Good. You know what? Good for them.
It's the apocalypse. You got to get it where you get it, Enjoy it while you got it.
It's about love, Murph. As Matthew McConaughey said, it's about love. If you want that full length reaction, go to patreon.com. This is the finale. This is such a terrible intro to the finale.
It's because we're not ready to be emotionally devastated.
I'm trying to make jokes because I'm very uncomfortable with what might happen.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it is. All right, patreon.com/nerdynightly. Let's just dive into this episode. We haven't seen Abby in episodes. She's definitely in this one, right?
Oh, yeah.
One of the wild... Okay, we have to talk about previous comments. Someone, on the episode where Dina and Ellie, hook up, someone was like, you think that a 19-year-old's a child, but you don't have a problem with the fact that they showed two 19-year-olds getting together on screen and having, a romantic scene. When I say a 19-year-old's a child, I mean that as a 33-year-old man, I am not attracted to them.
Yeah.
Not that they can't be attracted to each other.
Yeah. People should be attracted to people their own age.
Yeah.
Which is why we're not... We see 19-year-olds as being young children.
Yeah, I don't mean literally. I mean, legally they're adults. They can do what they want.
Oh, wild.
If you're 33 and dating a 19-year-old... A, we're not friends.
Yeah.
There's no one in my close personal friend group who, if they brought on a 19-year-old, I'd be like, that's great. Let's have her around all the time.
Yeah.
Or him.
That comment we got today about how it's probably our fault that the Wheel of Time got canceled.
Oh, yeah. Sony was...
Brilliant. Sony, yeah. Someone's like, I'm pretty sure Sony actually watches your reactions, and that's why the Wheel of Time
canceled the Wheel of Time because... And then they ended it with, I hope everything you love gets canceled.
Yeah. It's like,
I was
all right.
I really don't think Sony gives a shit about a channel with less than 100,000 subscribers, my guy.
If only, if only we had that kind of influence.
If I was Straw Hat Goofy, I would still not have that kind of influence. That's not how fucking internet works. No, it's wild. The comments are crazy.
They do be wildin'.
They do be wildin'. Wildin' out. And if I offended you by saying, if you're 33 and you're like, I have a 19-year-old girlfriend.
Don't.
I'm sorry? I didn't...
Yeah, that's
if your
weird.
feelings are hurt, it's on you.
Yeah, that's
You
that's
did
weird.
that. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Yeah.
This is gonna hurt.
That already fucking hurts.
Oh, right.
Don't let me. Can't let me die.
Yeah, because I have your baby.
No, have some, okay?
No.
It's gonna help. Have some.
I said no.
No, I'm pregnant, you idiot.
Just do it.
Jesus. Wow.
It's better than the other way.
Yeah.
Ripping those barbs through flesh.
That's so large. Yeah, no, he was right.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes crossbow bolts, don't flare out so much.
No, I think it's a proper arrow.
Oh, right. It was, yeah. No, that's fair.
I've written a couple of those on the wall.
Let me see. Is the baby?
It's okay.
How do you know?
I just do.
Moms.
Yeah.
They got them superpowers.
Shirt off.
Dina, you got shot in the leg. Lie the fuck down.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Whale and then wheel.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Maybe nothing.
Whale wheel?
Yeah, well, maybe she got what she deserved.
That's bleak.
There was a Firefly base in Salt Lake City. They had a hospital there.
Wow.
Gonna use me to make a cure.
Okay.
He was a doctor, and Joel shot him in the head to save me.
This is such a direction shift. I need to, like, adapt to it very quickly. You know what I mean?
We need to go home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the picture looks different when you can see the whole thing.
It is a different property now than the game. It is just a different thing. And that is very surprising to me. Sorry if that spoils the game. I couldn't spoil the game by saying that. The game is completely different at this point.
Do you have any extra 9mm?
Where's Tommy?
They have to meet up with him at the rendezvous that he has with Jesse, right?
I don't know why I thought it might be the theater, but...
In front of Jesse. This is so
Not
fucking
sure it's
rude.
been working for you. I'm alive.
Ellie!
You okay to barricade?
Yeah. Go.
Jesus Christ. The tension between these people is so wild. They do need to get back to Jackson, though, because the spores are new information that Jackson doesn't have.
Right.
Right?
The girl who's never turned down a free drink in her life, seconds before I was gonna push a crossbow bolt through her leg.
That's weird. I don't know why.
Yes, you do.
That's
bizarre.
weird.
Like,
how bizarre.
And I bet she even tells you things she wouldn't tell me. Like how she's pregnant.
He's not a dumbass.
no.
Oh shit, you were guessing?
These fucking children.
Look, she's obviously gonna tell you. So just act surprised.
Just found out.
So how about we skip the apologies and just go find Tommy so I can get us and my kid the fuck out of Seattle?
Yeah, it's fair. At least he's not like, why didn't she tell me?
You know, they're going to be co-parenting. They got to work through this shit now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Just two dads walking down the street together. Walking down the middle of the
Wait.
street together in broad daylight for some reason.
Yeah. Who was at the portrait painting?
The Prophet?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the Firefly girl?
The Firefly girl?
It looked familiar, and I don't remember.
Oh, the
much
mom from the hospital?
Yeah.
Maybe. I can't remember.
Just give it a minute, see if it dies down.
It's Seattle. It's not going to die down. Oh, fuck.
There. Go, get down.
This has nothing to do with them. Oh, no, it does.
Piece of shit!
No.
She got me. Get his clothes off.
What is with the stripping them naked part?
This is not our war.
He's gonna die.
Let's go.
Fuck.
Costco!
Hey, it's our favorite place!
Hell yeah.
What a gift. They still have Costco. Do you think the hot dogs are still $1.50?
Yeah.
Or I think it's $1 in the States, but...
Melissa and Christy are saying the storm's a convergence zone.
What?
The fuck does that mean?
And enough Owens and Mells. But only one Abby.
You in love with her or something?
By the time the sun comes up tomorrow, there's a very good chance you'll be dead. There's an even better chance I'll be dead.
Well, she's fucked off, Isaac. So maybe it wasn't.
Well,
Why her? I don't know what this episode's doing right now. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little all over the place and stuff that I'm not sure I'm on board with, but hopefully it ends strong.
But what if he's in trouble?
What if? He is in trouble. We're all in trouble.
What do you mean if?
That's a little on the nose.
As much as I've enjoyed this season, all of it's been a little on the nose.
Fair.
It is a little like, what if the audience doesn't get it? So let's just make sure they get it.
Well, because a bunch of people didn't get it.
Yeah,
the
it's
second
true.
game, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those weird things where you shouldn't have to hammer it over someone's head, but
They learned that lesson once.
Listen, about me and her, I don't really know what to say.
oh, I had that train, Matt.
I think I did too.
Like a wounded pregnant girl. Maybe Tommy's dead. Maybe we'll be dead. So. Remember that group that stopped by Jackson for a few weeks on their way south to Mexico?
From Alberta?
Like landscapes and shit.
Were they good?
No. Not about 4 of them. Because everyone there is counting on me to be the next Maria. Because I was taught to put other people first. You can make fun of me all you want, but let me ask you this, Ellie. I go with that girl to Mexico. Who saves your ass in Seattle?
It was a nice story until it got real petty at the end, but...
Yes, we do.
We don't, and even if it is, he's got them pinned down.
For now, they called for backup.
Then he'll pin more of them down. I know him. He would want me to do this.
I voted no.
Why?
Because everything you do for you.
Including this.
Yep.
I hope you make it.
Now I'm gonna go climb down those 30 flights of stairs we just climbed up. Jeez.
He's right.
They're both right. It's tough.
I don't know. That one is a no-brainer for me. Do you enact revenge and murder someone, or do you save the life of your friend who you basically forced to come here because you ran off and they worried about your safety?
Yeah, which is why the changes from the game to the show changed the character so much.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, they got ships on ships on ships. It's fucking D-Day in Seattle. That would scare the shit out of me.
Yep.
Trying to keep our boats at all close together in the dark without lights on. Because the way this is going, I'm not sure I fully understand why they did the, like, Ellie feels guilty about killing Nora scene. And is like, yeah, we should go home. Only to have her just immediately be like, well, actually, no, revenge is what I want to do. I don't feel... I don't know. I'm not really 100% sure... I agree with the choices this episode is making.
On one hand...
Oh, no!
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you fucked that up. Yeah, on one hand, she wasn't sure where Abby was, or any of the others. And so, I feel like it's easier to turn around when you're directionless.
Uh-huh.
But on the other hand, she's like, maybe we don't do this, and maybe Dina doesn't want to do this, and maybe this is not a good idea. Like,
and maybe they don't... But she says, like, maybe she didn't deserve it.
Well, the other ones, yeah. Abby... Oh.
I mean, you took a dinghy out in the ocean in the middle of a storm. I don't...
Yeah.
That was kind of on you.
Maybe she's never been on a boat.
I'm not a wolf! Tell them.
Oh, wow, that is some cold shit.
Leave her!
Why? You have weapons. Take two. Here we go again.
Wow, it's better than staying on that island, I guess. Like,
Oh, yeah, no, I agree with Ellie's choice.
so the wolves waited to use explosives while there was a storm happening?
Rain doesn't stop bombs, babe.
No, but it puts out the fire.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you light everything on fire if you blow everything up.
Yeah, I wonder how much fucking... I wonder what they got.
Oh god, she'd be so drenched. Smart. That was a nice little detail to throw
Got
in.
a minute, yeah.
Yeah.
You just hope you don't get attacked while you're reloading your gun. Worth the risk, though, because if it
Oh, 100%, yeah.
gets fucked, like, you're...
I really just want one video game adaptation to, in live action, put painted yellow edges on everything for you to climb. Just to acknowledge, just as a joke.
Hands up. Where's Abby?
You gotta be kidding me. She's gonna kill us either way.
No, I won't. Because I'm not like you.
Oh, you did kill Lawrence.
They might not know that yet. They might not, right? Like...
Yeah, if they've been here for days.
Oh God. I only have 30 seconds. Get the fuck over here. Please, please, please.
Ah!
Work fast. Work fast. Work fast. Work fast. Okay. Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh, transfers. Transfers. What? I don't know what that means.
Oh my god.
Is it out? Is it out?
Ellie!
Oh my god. I know it was coming. And I still was like...
I missed that part.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I think if I hadn't played the game, that would have fucked me up real bad.
Yeah, I somehow missed that part. That
Sorry.
was a surprise.
If I were out there somewhere, lost and in trouble, you would set the world on fire to save me.
Not Tommy, though.
Not well,
Everyone except Tommy.
yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I know why you killed Joel. He did what he did to save me. I'm the one that you want.
I let you live, and you wasted it.
That shot felt like a video game character walking into
Yeah.
being playable.
Yeah.
That was clever.
Yeah.
That was really clever.
Yeah, I see what they did there.
Let's go Seahawks. Okay. Interesting.
What does it mean, day one? Am I forgetting something?
Throughout Ellie's journey, we've seen Seattle Day 1, Seattle Day 2, Seattle Day 3.
Yeah, okay.
And so
Interesting, yeah.
it's the same structure as the game.
Yeah.
We're gonna go see it through Abby. What were the last 2 days of Abby's life like? Leading up to the final fight in the theater. Or in the conclusion of the gunshot.
I thought
Don't worry about it. Nope. Spoilers.
Yeah. Nope, never mind. You're right.
Look, I think that in maintaining the structure of the game, they did a very good job there. I thought that all of that played out well. I don't like I don't like some of the adaptation choices.
I didn't love this episode, honestly. It's kind of...
These are events that happen in the game. Some of them, and some of them aren't.
Sure.
And they were here because they're in the game, and I do get that. I understand structurally what they were trying to maintain. I don't agree with what they pushed to the side, and I don't agree with some of the stuff that they replaced the stuff they pushed to the side with, right? And so it's hard to talk about this without spoiling the game, and I don't know how... Maybe we'll talk non-spoilers for a second, and then we'll get into spoilers.
Yeah.
Before we say anything, I have not played the game in a while. I haven't played the game since the year it came out. I played it twice when it came out, and then I haven't played it since.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that I have the events of the game 100% right in my head. I'm not. And so I might not get things 100% correct in this. However, the one thing I do know is the emotions that Ellie feels through the game are somewhat not present here. And I think that is... The show is almost missing the engine that drives her. And I don't think that it's a Bella Ramsey thing, right? I don't think it's a performance thing. It is in the dialogue. Like, it is an intentional choice to have Ellie just constantly be questioning what's going on. And I think the game has a couple of those moments, but because of the gameplay loop, they're so spread out.
Oh, yeah.
To being like, okay, we're going to go fuck shit up for 4 hours, and then there might be a moment of doubt, and then we have to go kill again. But because Ellie has not had to fight anybody, it's been hard to... The engine that drives Ellie in the game is shown through the actions that you as the player take. And so it feels like she's working towards her goal all the time. But because so much of those actions are cut, because the show doesn't want to show Ellie in combat ever, because it's unrealistic and kind of goes against the premise of the theme of the game. There's this weird tension in the show of only seeing moments where Ellie's kind of doubting and then going full bore violence against an individual and then going immediately back to guilt and doubting. And the whiplash of that, I don't... Like, the whiplash of her being like, maybe Nora didn't deserve it, to climbing the thing with Jesse and being like, that's definitely not Tommy, to I'm going to go fuck up Abby, to I'm going to kill these people, to...
Didn't work for me.
Coming back and Jesse being like, you would burn down the world for me, and her being like, yeah, of course I would. And I'm like... And like I said, but she didn't for Tommy. Even though, who else would it fucking be?
Literally. Like, you have seen... Okay, right. You know that there is, like, a war going on here, but you have literally seen with your own eyes that these other people don't use guns.
Yeah.
And so what possible gunfire would be being exchanged?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little worried for the show, just because I think the reaction to this episode, particularly in some Tommy stuff, particularly in some Ellie stuff, and just overall pacing of the episode, I think the reaction to this episode is not going to be very positive.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. Like, I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It was sort of like, it was fine enough. It did enough. I like, there were moments that were very shocking and some very good cinematography. I think some great acting. Again, I thought Dina, again, was great.
Yeah.
I think Jesse was great. God,
I loved Jesse, and I wish that he had more.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Well, no, he won't.
I was like, oh yeah, he said the thing, he's gonna die. Like, I was like, there's no way. Because I actually, like, I'm assuming I'm assuming he dies in the game. I forgot.
No spoilers for the game.
No spoilers for the game. I don't know one way or the other, but I was like, oh, yeah, he's not gonna make it.
Yeah. I definitely, I'm very curious. The internet has been less hot on season 2 than I've been. And, or at least the people I follow have generally been more critical of season 2 of the show than I have been. And
yeah, there's a lot that I've loved up until now. This was the first episode where I was like,
yeah.
Oh.
I did not like the Isaac scene where he's like, Abby was going to be the leader of the WLF. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Didn't need it. Didn't feel like it was placed well.
Yeah, it felt clunky.
Well, now that I see that we are fully doing the 3 Days of Abby, like, full flip.
Yeah.
I actually don't like any of the Isaac stuff. Other than the cold open I did.
Where he's, like, torturing the guy.
No, the cold open where he throws the grenades into the truck.
Oh, yes. That would have been plenty.
And the like cutting between Ellie's POV and Isaac's to me is very odd now in hindsight.
Yeah, because if we're gonna be seeing all of Abby's POV, we could have been introduced to Isaac through her eyes and not just like we're randomly gonna show you some scenes that he's in, even though this is like Ellie's story right now. Very strange choices. Yeah. Because, like, there's stuff that, like, as individual scenes, I'm like, oh, this is good. And then, like, the way it's kind of fit together to structurally serve the story, I don't think actually has done the best job of serving the story.
Yes, I agree with that.
I also think that it's, like, kind of... And this might be very silly. I'm just gonna preface this. The scene where Owen and
Marie?
Yeah.
The pregnant girl.
Yes. Owen and Marie. We'll go with Marie. I don't know why. That might be right, but it also, I don't know. They're like talking about having to do something right now while there is a dangerous storm happening and the bombing of an island. And Owen is upset that she is stepping back and doesn't want to help out. She's fucking like 8 months pregnant. Owen should be like, yeah. No, that's fair, actually. You know what? You should let me handle this. What? If it's a job he can handle by himself anyways, what the fuck was she doing putting herself and her baby into? Like, the way that conversation was framed for the surprise of the pregnancy, I actually think is really weird. And I like I said, I don't remember that part of the game, so I can't speak to how it's framed in the game. That just felt like a weird, like, we gotta be a surprise for the sake of being surprised, but the dialogue leading up to it is just dialogue for no reason. I'm so confused.
Do you want a slight spoiler where I won't tell you what happens, but I can tell you what
this plan was, what they were supposed to be doing?
No, I don't even tell you that. That when you watch Abby's 3 Days, you'll understand it.
Okay.
It was it's a conversation that the context is missing for. But
yes.
you do get the context for that conversation. Okay. It's not a nonsense conversation.
Okay.
The context of it comes from spending 3 days with Abby.
Sure. Because from my perspective, they're talking about having a girl who's 8 or 9 months pregnant go out into a dangerous storm / war zone
and it is intentionally something that it's a mystery for you to solve during Abby's days.
Okay, sure.
It's
Sure.
the game and the show have both laid the groundwork for events that are going to take place that you're like, what is going on over there, that you will then see from the other perspective.
I think then my problem with it is that it's a mystery that jumps seasons, and because it's like in a finale in this way, it doesn't feel like a mystery. It feels awkward.
Well, and this has been my concern with the pacing of this whole season, where I've
Yeah.
been like, oh, we need like 2 more seasons.
Yeah.
I did not think that this is where season 3 was going to stop, because I didn't think it would be very satisfying.
And it's not.
Like, I think that
At all.
even if you didn't play the games, I don't know that Tommy's 2 scenes... I think that this is a weird place to leave it off for a year.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I especially think it's a weird place to leave it off for a year because of the anger that came about from people playing and getting to this point in the games, and knowing that this was the point where people got so angry that they had to play as Abby.
Yeah.
And look, I'm not one of those people. I really enjoy the game. And I am, I think, slightly disappointed overall in this season, even though I think it's very good because of the changes that it's made and the things that it's changed that I don't think were necessary. But I've really liked a lot of the scenes of this season.
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned that they've lost the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And I'm a little worried that they've ended here and set what I think is going to be the internet on fire. Like, I think that people are going to... I think the response to this finale is going to be very, very impassioned. And I think it will lean more towards people wondering why these creative decisions were made than it will towards people thinking that, fuck, they've nailed it. They've healed the fandom. You know, I don't think this episode's going to do that. I think that this episode is going to... The people who didn't like this in the game are going to have less reason to like it in the show.
Yeah. And the moment with the scars was clunky too.
What moment?
Where they string her up and are about to cut her open.
Yeah.
And then they're like, just kidding, we're not going to cut her open even though I have the weapon in my hand and it would take 1 second.
Well,
like,
her gun is right there.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I actively don't know if that scene happens in the game or not. I don't remember it.
I don't remember it either. But again, there are things that I missed because I didn't play it. I watched you play it, and I know I did not see every single second.
But there's also, like, this show has really cut any of Ellie's interaction with the scars.
Yeah.
On like a violent level. Because they're frightening enemies in the game. Like, they're a different kind of enemy type in the game. As a classification, but obviously they're people and they're not bad. You know, well, I mean, they're cold, but like their inherent goodness is not in question, right? Like they're humans. They're morally complex.
Yeah.
The show has kind of cut that from Ellie's side of the story, and it will probably be a much larger part of Abby's, right? But there is something interesting in losing that. You kind of get to this episode where, like, the scars don't really mean anything here, other than they kill people. Yeah. And so when they don't kill Ellie and they just leave her with her gun on their island, it's a very odd choice in this show that I don't. Yeah, it felt clunky. Like, it was kind of like, I guess, and she just gets on a boat and turns her. Like, you could just cut it. Like, you really could just cut it.
She could have just saw explosions on the island in the distance, and, like, we could have understood. We could have, all you had to do instead is explosions on the island, and then you hear the whistling from on that island so that you know that that's where the scars are and that there is a fight taking place over there.
Because, again, it's set up for what you're going to learn on Abby's side, right? Like, it's trying to set up, but Abby doesn't interact with that scene, so I don't know. I think that it just sort of played out.
It was odd. It was a fine episode. I think it was a bad finale.
You know what it kind of reminded me of?
What?
The House of the Dragon Season 2 finale.
Although I liked that one more than I liked this one, to be honest.
Did not. We hated that episode of TV.
Really?
We were, yes.
I hated the final moments.
No, season 7 of episode 2. We were... Yeah, because remember...
Episode 7 of season 2.
Sorry, episode 7 of season 2. We were like, what the fuck was this? We were so upset that it was a finale. We were like, and we kept saying...
That might be fair, because I can't remember.
We kept saying, if this was episode 7 and we had an episode next week, we probably wouldn't care all that much.
Oh, yeah.
But because this is a finale, we were so mad.
Yeah. And I don't really feel mad at this episode. Like, I remembered, that one pissed me off.
Yeah.
This one, I'm like, I'm not mad. I just am kind of like, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Well, like, I think that I am. This whole season, I've been very complimentary of the people around Bella Ramsey, and I think that I've been like trying to figure out how I feel about their performance in the season, because I think they're very good in season 1.
Yeah.
I really do. I think they crushed season 1, and this season they felt a little bit off, but they haven't felt like they're giving bad acting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this episode kind of clarified it for me, in that I think that they've taken so much of the anger out of Ellie in the dialogue that I think that Bella as a actor is almost struggling with the, I don't want to say I don't want to use mental health terms, of the very flip-floppy attitude Ellie has about her Ellie the character, her mission, and the sort of the amount of happiness and jovialness they've tried to inject into this, right? Ellie is less angry with Dina. Ellie's less dismissive of Dina. Ellie is more invested and a better partner and happier. And
Dina and Ellie don't have a negative encounter really between the two of them.
Until
there's no
I knew.
Yes. But I mean, there's no tension in their relationship other than like sexual tension. Like there's no.
And the moment where Dina's like, "You're infected," but that.
But even that is not anything that like.
Okay. Let's talk game spoilers.
Yeah. Spoilers.
If you like the video, like, subscribe to the channel. If you don't, hit the dislike button.
Yeah.
You might not like this video because we're a little all over the place on it. I feel like I'm actively trying to work through my feelings about an episode of TV that I think I'm going to end up being less positive on than previous episodes this season.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm there yet. I think I have some feelings to work through on this.
Mm-hmm.
But so from now on, we're just going to be talking spoilers.
Spoilers for the game.
Algorithm Goddess is maybe the pregnant woman she killed?
I guess.
When Dina reveals that she's pregnant in the game, there is an element of it that is Ellie frustrated that is going to get in the way of her revenge. Right? Like that killing the people who killed Joel is so important to her that is a problem. Mm-hmm. Not this joyful moment of like, I'm going to be a dad. Right?
Yeah.
Which is not in the game.
Yeah.
And I think that that simple change is the indicator of the entire issue that has massaged a little bit of what's interesting about Ellie out of season 2 that's in the game.
Yeah.
Which is that she genuinely is on this path so full tilt that good news is in the back of her mind. Like it can't come to the fore, right? Because it's like, oh, how does that affect this? And I think that when the scene I liked the most from Bella Ramsey in this episode was after Ellie, the character, sees the whale and is saying it like justifies their position to get away to not go in Tommy's direction.
Yeah.
And is shitty.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, she's being shitty in order to further, this feels like Ellie.
Yeah.
In a way that, like, I think that it's been close to, but not quite for parts of the season. Mm-hmm. And it was a really interesting light bulb moment for me where I'm like, oh, I wish there was more of this character.
Yeah.
And her being like, maybe Nora didn't deserve it. Like, and God, you know what? I might be misremembering. That might be verbatim. It might be in the game. But I don't remember ever feeling like I was going through that with Ellie the way the show wanted me to go through that with her.
Ellie feels like, in a way, a worse person in the game. on a certain level.
An angel of death.
Yeah.
Literally like an angel of death that wreaks havoc through Seattle on the way to this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in this, it feels almost like genuinely accidental.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, I didn't mean to hurt them. And I'm like, well, no, you did mean to hurt Nora.
Yeah.
But then you didn't, I guess you didn't mean to kill the pregnant girl, which, like, I do understand that. But I don't know. I feel like they haven't committed to Ellie's kind of perpetual rage machine the way that the game does. And in that, Bella's had to play a lot of different things out of Ellie.
Yeah.
That aren't always congruous to the story, I think, for me.
Yeah, like to like her actions.
Yeah.
Like Ellie's actions don't necessarily line up with the dialogue they have written for her. And like how it seems that she has like felt about things.
Yeah, and
because sometimes it seems like they're like taking a road trip, having a good time to Seattle, when it's not that at all.
Well, and sometimes it feels like they're trying to maintain the tone of season 1, and season 2's tone, the game 2's tone is so different from the first game's tone.
Yeah.
They're so fundamentally different.
Oh God, yeah.
And I think that, and maybe that's part of it, right? Like maybe they were trying to instill some of the tone from Joel and Ellie's relationship into Dina and Ellie's relationship. Mm-hmm. And in doing so, lightened the show a little bit.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, when you kill the pregnant woman, I'm kind of frustrated, I can't remember her name right now. When you kill her in the game, right?
Yeah.
When you get to that point, it feels inevitable. Mm-hmm. And in this, it was very shocking because it almost felt out of place.
Yeah.
Because of the conversation with Dina earlier.
Because they were about to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it kind of comes out of nowhere. And like
in the game, I think they're also about to leave. They are, but because Ellie doesn't know about Joel killing Abby's dad, it's a very different conversation.
Yeah, yeah. I like earlier in this season, I said like I enjoyed the fact that they didn't just have Ellie be angry all of the time.
Yeah,
because I think that would get boring after a while. It wouldn't be interesting to watch. But I do feel like they lost some complexity in having her seem to waffle so frequently.
Yeah.
Cuz it's not, it's not that I don't want Ellie to have like moments of joy and humanity, because I think when that's the main character of a thing that you're watching and you want to root for them, like I do think that that's necessary, but I don't think it was balanced particularly well looking at the season as a whole, because you're right, it makes like the storyline, like the actions, like what they're trying to achieve feel weird and like almost a little bit out of place.
Well, I think part of it is also that without the game mechanic of getting around Seattle, it feels like we're just kind of bopping around a giant city. Mm-hmm. And like there is something to the game of you have to go to places and you have to sneak past things. And there's an element of Ellie in the show that is, unfortunately, I don't think of her as being a badass. Or, like, capable. Mm-hmm. The show hasn't convinced me that Ellie's dangerous, other than the fact that she keeps killing people by walking up to them in the middle of a lit hallway with a gun pointed at them. But, like, Ellie hasn't won a fight this season. I mean, Ellie hasn't been in a situation where she's had to, like...
No, I think that, unfortunately, so, when her and Dina kill the clickers in the like, house, way, way, way back at the beginning, I think that was kind of the only moment, and that's not enough, right?
Well, but she even that, like, she only wins that because the clicker doesn't know she's it's not a clicker on
I'm talking about the clicker.
The stalker.
No, I'm talking about the clicker. Those are two different. Her and Dina.
Yeah, but she just walks up on the clicker from behind.
Yeah, and so
like
you have that moment of the show of like, she knows how to do stuff great. And then from there, you have her kind of failing in every single situation. Because the stalker is dumb luck. And then when they face the stalkers again, they get saved, right?
Yes.
And then, like there are a lot of situations that they like fail spectacularly at.
And in the game, you spend so much time playing as Ellie, succeeding at solving the puzzles and getting through the fights and doing all of these things. So Ellie, because of the game mechanic and like the fighting and that in the game, it feels like Ellie is good at things.
Yeah.
And in show Ellie, I don't know that I think she is.
No, I don't think that they've given her character enough moments like that where we see how dangerous and capable she is.
Yeah,
right?
it's missing.
Right now it feels like a kid is going after revenge and like
and is shocked every time she manages to pull it off.
Yeah.
Like every time she shoots someone, she's like, "Oh, wait, that's how guns work." There's a little bit of that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Meanwhile, in the game, because by the time you kill Nora, you've killed like 14 dogs.
Yeah.
Like you've brutally the game version of Ellie is a person who will choke out a dog to death in order to survive.
Yeah.
And I don't think that that's present in the show. I thought we were going to get it here.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to see Ellie in the finale show the version of herself that was going to fucking like be the angel of death finally.
Yeah.
She's killed Nora, she's changed. And then what we actually see is she cries to Dina and then she gets almost hung and then she gets into the room. Like, there's no barriers between any of those moments.
Yeah.
And so we just see her very upset that she's killed someone and then kill again and then be very upset that she's killed again.
Yeah.
And we don't see
The
any
show
of the sort of...
set up her character very well, I don't think. Like, for this season and for this arc.
And I've been very hot on the show in a way that other people haven't because I thought this episode was going to. I thought we were going to see her kill Nora
I was like,
and then become...
the direction it's going, and then they didn't do that, and I was like, okay, well, now I'm kind of just confused.
They sort of did the opposite. She killed Nora and then sort of, like, regressed away from violence.
Yeah, which is, like her violent tendencies are what make the game so tragic. Like, it makes the story so poignant and,
you
awful.
could argue it's the point.
It is.
Like,
it is.
It's really hard. I think it's going to be hard for them to... We're in game spoilers. It's going to be hard for them to land the ship of...
The boat, fighting in the
cycles of violence are... cycles of violence are destructive until you decide not to be violent.
Yeah.
When Ellie, thus far, has not really... has sort of waddled her way into violence a couple of times. And only a couple of times. And none of it has been like... And she hasn't perpetuated violence against any of the other WF, right? She hasn't, like, done the, I'm going to have to kill this person, and I'm going to have to be okay with that you have to do multiple times in the game. That's just gone. She just gets, like, she kills Nora, and then she kills these two. She's only killed people on Joel, who were there when Joel died. And so the ominous specter of this person going around Seattle murdering the WWE, the WLF, and being this I keep saying the angel of death, but that's who she is in the game, right? Mm-hmm. Without that, the theme of like the cycles of violence, which it seems like she's already learned the lesson of here. Yeah. And her, I don't know. I'm struggling with it. I really wanted to love it, and I really wanted to come out of the season being like, fuck, it's gonna be a long wait. And now I'm kind of like, I hope they take their time and make sure they really, really land the plane next season. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm kind of like, you know what? If you need 2 years, get it right, because I don't know that they did here for me. Yeah. Even though I think the acting overall pretty good. I think the cinematography was great. Yeah. But, yeah, fuck.
But even, like, as a finale, like, there wasn't even, like, any action. Like, there was nothing, like, there's nothing in this episode for me to be like, okay, you know, I don't love these choices, I don't love this, but at least this moment was like, whoa, I'm just kind of...
You didn't feel like the shooting, the pregnant lady asking for a C-section while she's dying wasn't, like,
that's
high
not
octane
action.
enough? I guess,
That's just fucking depressing as hell. Like, that's just like, wow, that's really fucked up. Like, again, you know, they don't really give Ellie a chance to be
Jesse got
skillful
shot
at things.
right before the end.
Yeah.
That's action.
There was no fight.
It's a downer. I think the other problem is that the season ends on a downer.
It is a downer. And
the
so
game's, the entire game is a downer. But like,
that's the thing. If you're going to end on this is a finale, right? People remember finales. We talked about this when we talked about the Wheel of Time, right? Like, there is an art to making a good finale. And it was a fine episode, but I think a bad finale. Because I don't have anything in it to latch onto emotionally, or like in terms of like a big ol' fight that was fun, like that kind of thing. It just kind of was like really fucked up because of like Ellie letting this woman and her baby die. I mean, letting her die. I don't know. If she had a knife, she might have been able to cauterize her neck. Can you cauterize a neck wound? I don't actually know.
Probably not.
Doesn't matter. I didn't get what I wanted from this episode. And if you did, that's awesome. I'm not really like, not hot on it.
Yeah, the Mashable title is The Last of Us Season 2 finale is a frustrating letdown. Here's why.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
At least we're not alone. One other person thinks so.
Forbes calls it an action-packed but badly rushed finale. They think there's plenty of action.
There's not. Yeah, some people shoot some guns, I guess. But when you compare this to, like, the attack on Jackson...
I know.
Like, it doesn't feel like a finale.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, what AV Club calls it a pretty odd finale. Last of Us caps off a pretty odd season with a pretty odd finale.
Yeah.
This is an interesting tweet from Seppenwall. At Seppenwall on Twitter. The Last of Us Season 2 didn't so much end tonight as stop, and in a frustrating fashion at that. You know what? I think that's a really good way of putting it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not seeing... I'm just scrolling through because I wanted to see, like, what are you know... Are we way off? I'm not seeing any love. I'm seeing people be like, it ended. But I'm not... And most people are saying it's disappointing. And so I don't think that we're going to be in some vast majority of people who are...
You mean minority? Like we were...
Sorry, yes. I don't think we're going to be in the minority in this. I think that I think this is going to leave a bad taste in people's mouth. And I'm really curious to see how they recover from that and how they, you know... The thing that sucks about it, and I know we're at almost an hour and a half, so we need to get out of here. But the thing that sucks about it is I think that the people who want to blame this on the shitty woke stuff and like on Bella being non-binary and like that element of it. Yeah. The guys who are complaining about Bella Ramsey's casting because they don't think she's hot enough to, goon over, they are going to take the people like me who have more of a like high-minded and less political divide reason to be maybe a little bit let down by this finale, and they're going to run with that and be like, see, everyone agrees with me. They're going to view it as, because this happens with things like Ahsoka, where people were like, see, everyone hates Star Wars now, because even people who like Star Wars, Disney Star Wars, hate Ahsoka. Yeah. I'm like, no, I was disappointed with the finale, but like, I don't hate Ahsoka, and I don't hate the show, and I don't hate the casting, right? I don't think the problems in Ahsoka are, well, I don't want to get into Ahsoka. The worst people on the internet are going to use the fact that this is a little bit of a disappointment to be really shitty. Yeah. And that sucks, and I hope that the people who work on the show, who deserve a ton of credit for making anything in the climate we're in right now, and in the version of Hollywood we have right now, I hope that they're all... This season was mostly exceptional, in my opinion. And I think the first 6 episodes, I have a very high opinion of all 6 of them. You know, some weird choices, but, you know, I think episode 2 is one of the best episodes of TV I've ever seen. So, I don't hate the show, and I'm very excited for its return in season 3. I just hope that, I don't know, I hope that they come back with a season about Abby that the audience can get on board with, and I really hope they can figure that out.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, not how I was hoping to end my Sunday night, but here we are. If you liked the video, like and subscribe to the channel. If you don't, hit the dislike button. Leave me comments down below because the algorithm god is hungry and we must feed her. This episode, that algorithm goddess is...
Oh, I thought we did this before we left.
Oh, yeah, it was the pregnant woman. She's dead. Sorry about that, again. At least I didn't pull the trigger this time. If you want to follow us on the internet, you can. I'm at Nerdy Nightly.
Oh, I was like, what the...
You
played the game.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm at Claris Polaris.
Do something nerdy tonight.
Bye.
Bye.